Wondering how your mindset affects your life? How to bring more energy into your business and life? Millions of people around the world ask these same questions daily. You are in the right place. Learn practices that will help give your life the meaning and success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Charge Podcast, teaching you how to create habits around real goals every day. Practical life advice from those who made it. Here's your host, Gary Wilbers.
You may be asking, why is it so hard to find quality employees for my business? When running a business, you face new challenges every day. Finding the right candidates and keeping them during this time is extremely critical to your success. Every business should be able to find the right candidates with a proven system and retain them by coaching them to success. The Success in Hiring Framework gives you the tools you need to attract, engage, and retain quality team members so that you can move your business to the next level. With my Success in Hiring system for business owners, you will learn how to recruit, hire, and retain the right fit for your unique business. I created this system after all my experience as a business owner with the same struggles as you. Best of all, it is free. Why do I do that? Because my purpose in life is to help business owners reach their full potential. Go to chargepodcast.com and click on the link, Success in Hiring, to start you on the path to hiring the right people for your business. Welcome, Chargers. We're glad to have you back again for another great podcast. I'm so glad you decided to join us. I'm telling you, can you believe this first quarter of 2022 is going by fast? But the thing is, we're bringing different guests with different viewpoints to really make you think. And today's guest, you're really going to enjoy, because if you do anything in customer service, I think you're going to enjoy the conversation. But before we get into me really introducing Dr. Henry, could you share with us what question are you going to answer, problem are you going to solve for our Chargers today?
I've got a few questions that I like to solve for business owners and entrepreneurs, help them to understand why customer service is so important, not just now, but in the future. What is a huge common misunderstanding that most businesses have concerning their customer service? And what is a key action, actually some key actions that a business owner, an entrepreneur can implement immediately that will have a tremendous impact on improving their customer service?
So as you can tell today, we're going to talk about customer service. And the thing is, I want you to stay on, even if you say, well, I'm not really in customer service. Because first, I'm a believer we're all in customer service. And the thing is, we get a lot of customer service from people. So this may help you on the way you receive that customer service. And let's be honest, this is an area that all businesses is challenged in right now, because with this great resignation, people are seeing shortage of workers. So if you are a business owner or you're a leader in your company, you've got to figure out, how do you still deliver that service? So we'll get into some of those things. But first, let me introduce you to Dr. Kelly Henry. For 20 years, he was an award-winning chiropractor and helped his patients live healthier lives. With a constant focus on providing exceptional customer service, Dr. Henry grew his clinics into one of the top producing chiropractic offices in the nation, with multiple locations and doctors. Since 2018, Dr. Henry has used his system to coach business leaders how to significantly and rapidly increase profits and grow their companies. He's also the author of Define and Deliver Exceptional Customer Service, a success manual with proven strategies on how to maximize growth and profits. Dr. Henry, it is great to have you on the Charge Podcast. Welcome.
Thank you, Gary. It's an honor to be on this great show. Appreciate it.
Well, I am so excited to have you on the show today, because customer service, I used to be in the mobile phone business. Then we changed it to the wireless industry for 22 years. And I did a lot in customer service because I was in that retail side. And I always worked with my customers. I had a few sayings of, I didn't call them customers, I call them guests. And then I was also one of these moments of magic people, and that's not my saying. A good friend of mine, Shep Hyken, that's out of St. Louis, Missouri, came to one of our back in the early 90s, to one of our training sessions for our team. And he shared that concept of moments of magic. So to be able to talk to you about customer service, I'm excited about, because it brings me back to some of my roots. So thanks for
Shep. Absolutely. Shep doesn't know it, but he's one of my mentors in the customer service space. So he's got tremendous insights. He's been doing it a long time. So I like Shep. He's got great information.
Yes, very much so. Well, I am so glad you said yes. So Dr. Henry, let's really talk about that first question that you said you would answer for the Chargers. It was, what is customer service? Why do you think that's so important for a business?
There's a simple concept that most businesses don't understand about customer service. And this is from talking to many business owners. They don't understand that customer service is either going to enhance basically every procedure, everything they do in their business, or it's going to detract from every area, every function, every action they do in their business. There's no neutral to it. It's either going to be beneficial to their business, or it's going to detract and keep them from being as successful as they want. And so many business owners, they understand the concept of customer service, that it's important, but they don't understand how impactful having holes in their customer service in so many areas creates this such a negative in their business, which generally causes them to lose customers and obviously lose profits. So they need to understand that idea that you're either working towards creating better customers from your business.
Yeah, that becomes a real challenge, because the thing is, people recognize when they have good customer service, but the challenge is when it's bad customer service. Not many people say when they have really good customer service, but man, when people have bad customer service, especially today, that it gets shared. I mean, people are willing to put it up on social media, and it really passes in a business. So when you really think about customer service, and when you did in your chiropractor business, how did you look at the different areas that were kind of touched in that customer service area to be able to help our clients kind of really think about what they need to do? Because it's not just the people, in retail, in the chiropractor office, they came into your office, but it's also in other touch points that they have with your business, correct?
Correct. The biggest piece, though, the foundation piece of great customer service and establishing it and having it as a core in a business is how the employees are actually treated. And that's another area that so many businesses miss, which that also flows out to so many touch points as you were referring to. But you can't treat your employees bad and crack the whip and have these expectations and treat them with disrespect, and then turn around and expect them to treat the customers with respect and provide great customer service and to make the customer feel like a very important person. You have to make the employees feel that way in turn for them to do the same and return the favor to the customer. So happy employees, generally speaking, equals happy customers.
Yeah, I think that's a big one that you hit on there, because I think we tend to forget that it's how we treat others, and it's internal as well as external. That really is what comes out. And the other thing I would tell people, especially when we're looking at small businesses, with a small business, it's how you respond and how you react, because you kind of lead them. And in so many businesses, they forget they're kind of the leader of their group, and they kind of follow that method. And I'll be honest, I had a challenge with that early in my career, because they could know my mood, and it was kind of interesting. This was before text messaging. They would actually call the other store and say, "Hey, he's not in a very good mood. Make sure you got this done." And, that passed through. Well, and then I'm talking about, here, you need to give good customer service, but I wasn't giving them good customer service.
Absolutely. And I'm guilty of that as well. So there was a season in my chiropractic offices that I lost sight of how I should be focused on treating my employees well. And one of my coaches called me on it and got me set straight that, hey, you need to look at your employees as assets. make them feel important and special, so they can in turn turn around and do that for the customers. So I'm with you. I'm guilty as charged on that side of things too.
Well, that's how we learn, though. And that's where I would tell anybody, if they're sitting there, they're guilty just like you and I have been, but you can change that. You have
Absolutely.
a choice to make that change. And I always have to tell this story, but I have to share this is, I had an employee that was going to go to work for me that I knew and that knew me. An employee that was working for me at the time actually told that employee before they had come on, said, "Are you sure you want to go to work for him?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, we know him." "Well, do you know him in the workplace?" And I'm embarrassed about that now, but that showed you what type of, now I've changed from that and I've been able to adjust from that. But man, now I look back on that now and I say, yeah, I was a jerk of a boss, and I'll admit it. You've shared one of them, I'm sure, one of them common misunderstandings, but is there any other misunderstandings that businesses or as business owners we have really concerning customer service that you can share with us?
Yeah, well, another one is that most businesses think they provide great customer service. I already kind of touched on that, but there's all kinds of statistics on that. There's been several studies. They went to 600 businesses and asked the business owner, the upper level management, do you provide great customer service? And 80% of those businesses said, yes, we provide stellar customer service. Then the researchers went and asked the consumers of these 600 businesses, and completely different story. Only 8% of the consumers said, yes, these particular businesses provide great customer service. So there obviously was a huge gap there. And that the issue with that, having that mindset of, yeah, we provide great customer service, is it doesn't matter from a business owner standpoint, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, if you think you provide great customer service. It's what your customers think. Their perception is everything in your business. So if they don't perceive that you provide that stellar, great customer service where they feel like a rock star when they're doing business with you in whatever form, then you do not provide great customer service. And that is a huge misunderstanding that most businesses, I'm going to say, suffer from, to be honest with you.
Right. Because a lot of them, what do we use? Oh, yeah, we have great customer service. When they try to think about their benefits, they say we have great customer service. But then one breakdown in the system, they don't, if you're a restaurant, the food's not prepared properly in the back room, of course, and it gets served and someone complains and, there's nothing done about that. That becomes a breakdown, and it becomes kind of those links that we say on the chain customer service. It's about each of those links of looking at them in each of those areas. Exactly. Is there anything else that you would want to be able to share with our audiences about maybe misunderstandings to keep top of mind?
Well, going along with what I just mentioned about thinking they have great customer service, is most businesses do. And so they'll have a piece that, we do pretty good with this, and we do, good on this area and this area. But having those pieces almost puts blinders on them, and they don't see the other holes in their customer service in different areas. That when you have these giant holes, again, the perception will be that great customer service is not being provided. Even though you have this piece and that piece, you have too many holes that really detract from anyone believing that your business is that providing that stellar service that you claim or that you think you're providing.
Yeah. And I think that's the key is too, we used to do some secret shopping, because the problem is if you're looking at only internally, you're not going to get the answers that you really need to have, because you really look with blinders on, as you kind of mentioned, in different areas it's there. But you get someone come in and, check out the system as a secret shopper. I mean, it gives you a totally different viewpoint. Did they get greeted? Just even some of the smallest things come up, and you'll be surprised. And of course, it was always interesting when we got those reports back, because they said, well, it was because of this, it's always reason. And it's like, well, that's the reason we do this. It's not to catch you. It's to fix these things. It's about getting them right. Because if you're doing it this time, guess what? Most likely you're doing that considerably the majority of the time.
And that's a good point, that the secret shoppers or the customer complaint, They're a shot to a lot of business owners, management, CEOs, egos.
Yeah.
That original question of misconception is, it's business. It's not an ego trip on your customer service. If you're truly wanting to create a bigger, better, more profitable business, then the focus should be on, where is there a problem? What is that problem? How do I fix it and make things better? And a lot of business owners don't want to see that, because it's a knock to the ego and a pride thing.
Yeah, you are definitely right there. I remember I would normally have to take a couple days after I read them because it would frustrate you. So you didn't call your employee right after that.
You betcha.
Normally I had leaders at that time that could do that. But the other area that kind of fits with that, I would add to that is when you do your own internal customer service surveys.
Sure.
And I'll be honest, we did some culture surveys in our company. And, I'll be honest, after I read that, because we did a lot of progressive things, but the thing is they're telling you from their viewpoint, and man, it was tough. And it was funny because as we grew, my HR director would hand it to me and say, now remember, take some deep breaths after you read it, and then give yourself some time and space. And he would normally always bring them on Friday because he knew he didn't have to see me till Monday. And some of them things that were said was tough. But you know what? Normally after a couple of days, I'd take a look at it and I say, you know what? They're right. Because they're coming from their viewpoint. I'm coming from my viewpoint. And so you learn from that, and it adds right with the employee side that we've talked about. What are some of those key actions that you believe that really businesses could start immediately to really improve their customer service and make it better?
3 very simple actions. And that's my coaching philosophy. That's what my book is about. It's the simple actions, if you'll do them consistently, that are going to create the benefits and the perception of great customer service for virtually any business. So these are 3 very, very simple actions that a business can focus on, almost implement immediately, that again is going to drive up that perception. And I call them the 3 F's. So first F is stepping up your friendliness. And that seems so basic and so, intuitive. We already do that. We're already friendly. But if you really look at friendliness, it's, do you put a smile on your face? Do you greet the customer as soon as they walk into your establishment? Are you friendly at every touch point? Customer service starts, progresses, and ends with being friendly. So that is process number 1. I call it aggressively friendly. You want to be aggressively friendly. You want to greet immediately, smile in the face, eye contact, call them by name if they're a regular customer, those type of things. But being friendly is huge. Second F is being fast. Being fast, being more convenient, speeding things up for your customers. We live in an Amazon society where Amazon is very convenient. They are incredibly quick with getting products to us. We don't necessarily have to be to that extent, but people love when things are done conveniently, when they are done quicker than what maybe they anticipate. So you want to be fast. You want to look at every area of your business where you can be more efficient and quicker and more convenient for your customers. So be friendly, be faster throughout your business. And then the final F is being able to fix problems. Problems happen, whether it's from a business side of things that initiated the problem, whether it's from the customer side of things. It doesn't matter. From a business standpoint, you've got to be able to fix those problems, do it efficiently, do it to the satisfaction of the customer. Now, the key with fixing problems correctly, efficiently, and making the customer happy on the other side of an issue is those customers statistically will have a higher loyalty factor to your business when you take care of them and take care of a problem for them, like to their satisfaction. Keep that understanding. When you do it correctly, those are the customers that will stick with the business. They will be the mouthpiece for the business, and they will fight to the death before they'll leave a business because of how they were, how things were handled in a problematic situation. So friendly, fast, and fixing problems to the satisfaction of customer. Those are the 3 F's, if you will, the basics of great customer service.
Yeah, I think that really sets it up really well. And I'm really glad you used, because, I always call them the big A sometimes when I speak about them. But, as small business owners and as business owners, we hate what they do because, of course, they take a lot of business from us. But the only thing I tell business owners, we have to learn from people that's doing it right. And the only thing is I ask sometimes when I'm speaking to audiences, I'll ask when I'm talking about a customer service a little bit, how many people have ever talked to a human with that company? And I would tell you, you get very few hands. So the question is, now you have to take it as a business owner and say, what can I do in my business to make it better? Okay, it may not be about that they don't talk to a human. We are human, and small businesses a lot of times do have the people side, but how can I make it better? And I think that's where you really come in with what you talked about on your 3 F's, is the friendliness, fast, and be able to fix the things that's wrong. But empower your people, because so many people, that's the challenge is, they shouldn't have to ask for a manager. Empower them. At certain level, there's small enough things, like if someone's food's not right, empower that waiter or waitress to make it right.
Absolutely.
That creates fast, and it also allows them to fix. And guess what happens then? The friendliness comes in. And guess what happens with that individual? Then, of course, the waiter or waitress didn't get knocked either, because if they take care of it, normally most people are going to still tip them well.
Exactly.
That's how they make their money. So that, I think, is a great example of you sharing, with that customer service. And I just love talking about customer service because to me, it's a challenge, today. But the thing is, it has to be something you measure. It has to be something you have to have processes. That's one thing we see in a lot of businesses to get great customer service. You got to really look at your processes that you have in your company. And I'm sure with your chiropractor business, you grew outside of just your own office. You had other doctors doing it. So I'm kind of curious, were you very much a process type individual, giving some leeway, but knowing that when they came in the door from the time they left, that you kind of had that, let's say for a brand new client, did you have that process kind of laid out with your team?
We did. We were very process heavy. When you run in a chiropractic office, you're concerned about 2 things. You want to be friendly, obviously, but then also you have to have the health concern of the patient as they come in and make sure you're doing your due diligence on that side of things. So those processes helped on both sides of us. So, you can't just have a patient come in and say, you know what, my back hurts here and, pop me, doc. Well, let's take some x-rays, let's understand your condition and take care of it appropriately. But you do that in a friendly manner. You do that with the things that I just mentioned as far as taking care of the customer service side of things. So yes, we were very process heavy, but like you just mentioned, I also had, gave leeway to my employees that, hey, if you need to go above and beyond, don't ask me, you go above and beyond. You see a need, go do it, go fill it. Unless it's, incredibly outside the box and you're spending a bunch of money or you're leaving the office or something crazy like that, go above and beyond. You have liberty to do that. Like you just mentioned, that a lot of businesses don't do that. They're so structured and they're so rigid that's detrimental to the business and obviously the customer service.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the key is you really have to empower the people if you really want to create a customer service. And then you've got to work on, ways that you can create that friendliness, that fast, and be able to fix the problems. Because if you do that in an organization, it really grows. Share with them, if you would, before we go into the recharge round questions, because I think you and I could talk about customer service all day long because we love this topic and everything of that nature. You mentioned a little bit, the 3 F's are definitely in the book and stuff, but mention how they can get a copy. We'll have all of it in show notes too, how they will link to it so they can get it into chargepodcast.com.
Well, the easiest way, we've just mentioned this business a couple of times, the big A, but it's go to Amazon. It's right on Amazon. Again, the book is Define and Deliver Exceptional Customer Service. Very simple, very easy read. And again, I mentioned my philosophy in coaching and then simply in this book as well. This book is full of simple actions, ideas, principles that a business owner can read within a couple of sittings, start implementing immediately. that are going to have a dramatic impact on that is impact on their profits and their growth of their business. That's what we want customer service for. Yes, we do want customer service to create loyalty, to have a better business. But ultimately, as business owners, we want to drive up profits and grow our businesses. And that's what customer service will do. You can find my book on Amazon. The big A, as you said, Gary. This book is a simple read. It's only about 150 pages long. It goes to my philosophy of, if you'll do the simple things consistently, that's what's going to create major results for a business. So this book is full of simple ideas, actions, and implement very quickly that are going to drive up the perception of great customer service, which ultimately what we want to do in creating great customer service is to keep more customers, get more referrals, and drive up profits so you grow your business. That's the bottom line. It's good to have great customer service, but you want to do that for a reason, obviously. Let's make a more profitable and bigger business that way. And for those that like to listen to books, I also have an audio version available. So I know a lot of people like to do that and multitask. So I wanted to have that availability for them.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, and we'll have that all linked in show notes so they'll be able to access it. But just as a business owner, it's getting you to think about it. And that's what I love about this podcast and what you're sharing, Dr. Henry, is we have to think about how do we deliver customer service. And it's about exceptional customer service, because that will set you apart and create more profits. Absolutely. So I'd like to go into the recharge round. I ask every guest this, and I love hearing what they have to say. My podcast name, of course, is Charge, but that's a mantra of create habits around real goals every day. What habit do you think has led to success in your life, Dr. Henry?
Well, I'm of the mindset that my best life's always ahead of me. And one of my mentors and coaches, if I heard him say it once, I heard him say it 100 times, that you're either green and growing or ripe and rotting. So I always want to be green and growing. So the habit that actually fits into that is I'm a reader. Learners are earners. I read daily. Last year I read, in the last few years, 50 plus books. So just learning, keep adding to my knowledge base, not only to help me be better and me helping my clients and my customers and helping them grow and be better through the knowledge that I'm gaining through my readings. So that's been a huge habit for me, and I thoroughly enjoy.
Super. So we all in life would like to have a do-over. We've had something that didn't go right that we'd like to. Well, today I'm kind of like that fairy godfather, I guess, not mother, godfather, that I'm going to give you that do-over, Dr. Henry. So what would it be for you?
Well, I'm sure we all could think back and look at areas that we should have done things a lot differently. From a business standpoint, though, the one that's glaring in my mind is I wish I would have hired a coach a lot sooner than I did in my early chiropractic career. I struggled in business for several years, 4 or 5 years, before I finally pulled the trigger and hired a coach, and my career took off from that point on. And I there was ego involved, and, I thought I could do it on my own, and blah, 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 a lot of different reasons. And finally just came to the realization, I'm just not getting that done. Let's hire somebody that can help me turn the tide and change things. And I'm glad I did, but I wish I would have had that insight earlier on.
Yeah. It's amazing how, it just gives you a different viewpoint, changes kind of your paradigm. And it's one, I know you do some coaching, and we'll give you a website that they can share with them if they're looking for that. Same way myself and my clients, is that instead of you're in your own world, you really get to see a different viewpoint. What a great philosophy to have, and one that can really make a difference in someone's business. So if you're out there struggling, check out Dr. Henry and his opportunities he has available. And there's lots of opportunities out there for you to get that. And you can do it pretty darn reasonably. And the thing is, there's always a return on investment in that area. Dr. Henry, if you would share with them your website. And of course, we've talked about the book, but give the book's name again, and we'll have all those links in show notes for our guest.
You bet. Define and deliver exceptional customer service. Again, you can find that on Amazon. You can also get it. It'll take you to the link to Amazon, but you can find that on my website, drkellyhenry.com. So Henry, all one word.com. I also have a secondary in this website. It's Dr. Kell's Business Academy. I do help with customer service. Obviously, we talked about that. That's a passion. That's a focus of mine, and I love to help my clients and customers and change their businesses through customer service. But I also have more tools to my trade with helping marketing and profit generation, different areas that I can help a business shore up things and help them gain better insights and create a better business. The website that's corresponded to that is Dr. Kell's Business Academy, all one word.com.
Okay, excellent. We'll have that all in show notes. So I'm sure our people are exercising or multitasking, as you talked about earlier. So we make good show notes. My son, Chris, does the show notes and has a great notes for people to able to easily get to everything. Also, he's on LinkedIn. You can go to linkedin.com. Dr. Kelly Henry will have all that in show notes for you chargers. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and talk about customer service, because this is one of them topics that never gets old. It never goes out of date. And the thing is what are you doing in your business? And for the people that listened and you were on here and you're not the business owner, the thing I would tell you is, what are you doing for yourself on the way you deliver customer service? And I don't care if you work in an office, you are still part of customer service. Sometimes we service internal people. We don't service external side of it. But the question is, how are you serving those internal guests? So I would really ask you to take a look at that. Dr. Henry, I can't thank you enough for saying yes to the Charge podcast.
I appreciate the honor of being on the Charge podcast, Gary. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for this opportunity.
Well, thanks for joining us. And Chargers, my action today is just real simple. What are you going to do about your customer service? Not your company. What are you going to do about your customer service? Are you really going to take a hard look at it and decide how you can become better at that? And some of it becomes in the 3 words he gave us earlier. Are you friendly? Are you fast? And do you fix things? Just think, if you were known as that in your office or in your company, what a difference that would make. So you decide how you're going to do it, but take action in delivering better customer service. And remember, we can even talk about customer service is with our families. How do we serve our families? Do we come home and are we the growly bear that comes in the door? Or are we the dad or mom that they're excited, that our children are excited to see us? So that comes into play there too, because I love talking about professional, but also how do we do things in our personal life? So Chargers, thanks for being here again. Remember, if you like this podcast, share it with others, let others know about it. Please let others know, because that's how we keep growing each and every week. And remember, charge each and every day. Create habits around real goals every day. Make it a great day. We'll see you next week.
This podcast is ended, but your life doesn't just stop. To continue your inspiring journey, head over to chargepodcast.com and access all the tools and resources mentioned on today's show. If you enjoyed this episode, consider sharing with somebody who may also benefit from the advice provided. That's chargepodcast.com. Until next time, charge in business and life.